Hello everyone, I am Malbolge and welcome back to another unboxing. This time it's the Steam controller. I just picked this up half an hour ago from EB Games. I would just like to point out that it comes with a USB cable. On Steam's website and also on EB Games' website it says it does not include a USB cable, but it does. Also, when you take off this sleeve, if you look closely inside, if I can just get the reflection out of there, you can see a complete parts breakdown of the Steam controller. I'm sorry if the reflection is sort of ruining this, and if it's not very clear on the camera, but I really don't want to take this apart right now. But I've never seen that noticed before. I've never seen that talked about or noticed before, and that's really cool. That there's a complete parts breakdown and separation of the whole unit and all the screws. It's beautiful. Alright, so in the box, you get the Steam controller, 2 AA Duracell batteries, your dongle, which I believe is a proprietary radio signal, so it's not Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, it's Steam's own thing. And then you lift up the insert. There's nothing underneath it. And in the bottom of the box, you have your Steam controller quick start guide, your Steam controller product guide, and then in the back there is a cardboard insert, and it contains this. Now this feels quite nice. It's got quite a bit of weight to it. It feels like it's a solidly built design, and I believe your dongle can go right in there. If I can just get this lined up. Perhaps it just requires a little more force. Yes, that's it. Takes a little bit of force, but very well built. Feels very solid. Nice click when it goes in. And then in the rest of this cardboard insert, you have a micro USB cable. Now I'm just going to take this out of frame real quick to just test the length. Alright, this cable is 4 feet long, and with the micro USB, it plugs firmly into the base of this. I'll just pop it back out. And I'm not sure how well you can see, but it has 2 little teeth on there. Feels like a great connection too. Okay, so the Steam controller does in fact come with a micro USB cable, which is something that I have not seen included in any specs online. It always says does not come with cable. An overview of the controller without the batteries included. The weight is great. It feels solid. It feels great. It's not light. It's not flimsy. I like the plastics feel. Honestly, this feels exactly the same weight as my Xbox One Covert Forces controller. I like this nice, shiny, high-gloss plastic along with this matte plastic. It feels very great in the hands. It's a nice ergonomic feel, how it cups to your hands, because your hands create a shape like this, which is perfect for this. Unlike Xbox controller, it'd be more like holding the controller like this, where it forces you to do that and can be very hard on your wrists. Now, going over the buttons, I like the feel of this thumbstick right here. It has a liquid color underneath it, just like an Xbox controller. It has a bumpy strip all the way around with rubber in the middle. It does click down. These buttons feel wonderful. They're nice plastic. I like the click. It feels well built. That's a very soft click on these 2 buttons. But the Steam button has a click similar to that of the XYABs. These pads have very little friction to them. It's kind of like rolling your fingers over the screen of an iPhone or that of an Android. And now flipping it over, you have your two bumpers and your two triggers. And then as well as your two paddles. Now the two shoulder buttons take a little more force to push down than the two triggers. However, when they click at the bottom, they have a little bit of back pressure, but it's still very nice. And then these have a very sharp click to them. I still like it. Just pull that, and that plate comes right off, and your batteries will go in here. And it goes right back on. I've seen a lot of people give this controller bad reviews because of the liquid plastic and saying, oh, you'll get fingerprints all over it, but what does that have to do with the build quality? If it's made of a nice plastic, then who cares if it's covered in fingerprints, unless of course you just have OCD and that's your own thing. And I forgot to mention, these also push down. Now it sort of feels like the whole thing pushes down at once, rather than having multiple sensors to push down on it. But it honestly, this feels great. It feels wonderful. The plastic is nice, the touch is great. It feels wonderful in my hands. I don't see why people are giving this such a bad review. It's wonderful. It's what I've always wanted. I've always wanted a controller that is touchpads. I've always wanted to have a controller that is like a mouse, so that I can sit on the couch and do gaming how I normally do gaming. I've never used anything like this before, so it will take some getting used to. And that's another thing that I don't understand why people are giving the Steam controller such a bad review on. You've never used something like this before. Why would you expect to be good at it when you first get it out of the box? They say, it feels weird, or it's something they're not used to. Well, of course not. Who makes something else like this? Well, granted, it isn't the exact same shape, nearly, of that of PS4, Wii, Xbox controllers, but granted, nobody has done this before that I have ever seen. But all the buttons feel great. They feel solid. The plastic is nice. The touchpads are nice. The clicks are nice. But honestly, this is not a light controller. People are saying that this is way lighter than an Xbox One controller. It's not. It's pretty much the same weight. I would give this a 10 out of 10 just on build construction. I really like it. This is something I've been anticipating for a very long time. And I will be using this in the Coffee and Controller series. If you have been following that, you'll have been able to see how I perform with an Xbox One controller, and I will be using this for the next few episodes, and that will give you a better idea of how I compare on the two of them. And I'll be doing multiple episodes which will show you how well I progress or how fast I progress with this. I will also show you the mapping that I plan to use, if I just plan to use the generic one, or I might even create my own. If you have any questions or comments about it, please feel free to leave them down below. Thanks for watching.